Hello YouTube! We're going to redo this knife we made. It is a copy sort of this one. I bought this at, it's called Lewis and Clark event, where they have tents set up and they all dress like they did in the Lewis and Clark days. They have them in different parts of the country, but they set up all kinds of booths and sell stuff, you know, trinkets, odds and ends, beads and things like that. But you'll find some old tools, old knives. Like mostly tools would be like blacksmithing stuff, but you'll find some knives and stuff. But this was a throwing knife, okay? And I have practiced throwing it from the handles, how the guy told me. I probably gave about 15 bucks for this. I've taken the original old pitted finish off it over the years and played with it, which I should have left it alone. It's been sharpened on a work sharpener, but can you tell how this goes up? Okay. I tried copying it on this knife, and I never really liked it, because if you look at the handle, we'll try to hold it as straight as we can. I'm looking at the grid lines of my camera. I think about taking about that much off. So I got grid lines in my camera, I can eyeball stuff. About that much off. And I want to make this more curved. Because I have the belt sander now, I could probably go in here a little bit deeper. I want this to be narrower. So I want to make my own type of knife out of it. I did take my metal stamps and put USA in here in case 100 years from now somebody finds it. Well, some guy made this, made in the USA. This may be modified a little bit here. Everybody likes their finger toil on a knife. So this may be modified, but I don't know. Because I've always held it like this. Handle is not really too fat, it's just too squared. I really can't do anything about it now, because I'm afraid if I try to round this over and try to get the same finish, and I'm sure this was walnut. These are 357 Winchester. No, 38 special. 38 special. I had a whole bunch of different shells one time I got from somewhere. Drilled out where the primer was. They were shells that had been shot already. I didn't drill into a live primer. To put my lanyard through there. One of them isn't in all the way. See that? I got epoxied and they got carried away. That's just probably some brass welding rod. This was sort of heat treated. I'd heated this with the torch to get it orange red hot, quenched it in water. Then the next time I heated it, I got it kind of into a bluish tinge and put it down into a bucket of stove ashes. So it's not properly made. I just made it to chop wood with. It is a little bit thicker than this metal, but it's nothing special. If you take and hit on this one and listen to it, you can tell it probably wasn't even a properly tempered knife. And like this one, this has a little more ring to it. So, just for those people, you know, they might say, well, you didn't heat treat that properly and blah, 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 blah. I don't think I got that in the original video. But there is a video of this when I first got on YouTube back in 2012. So, we yacked about it enough. Winter time and sitting here, I tend to rattle on too much. And this is not a Sunday in the shop video. So, we got to kind of keep this short. So, we'll bring you back when it's all done. We just want you to see what it looks like now. Hold it right there. And then when I get done. So we're off to the belt sander. Stay tuned. Okay, we didn't take a before picture. We should have, but we'll go along. We're looking, like I said, we have the grid lines set up on our camera. We're trying to stay right. I mean, that's getting me exactly on there. We had a little trouble on that belt sander. You try to get up close, and the thing that your tool rest, whatever. You really can't get this last part, like right in here it hits. So you have to kind of freehand it. You know, that's not easy either. We are using our blue belt at Zircon, whatever, from Harbor Freight, the blue one. I tried the 80 grit that I used on wood. It was a waste of my time. I recommend getting the blue one when you're going to do steel. This was done on the end of the roller. Say this is the roller, you know, something round. I don't have anything round. Here we do. You know where your machine rolls over. This was done by going like this out on the end. And then also coming in this way. Now, I've had these on with brown gloves over it. because that leather gloves are too bulky. It is cold out. It's only like 40, not even 45 degrees. I mean, I'm happy I got 65 degrees in here, close to it. Even got a heater going over here, plus the stove going. So, I know you're not supposed to wear gloves around some equipment, but like I said, I stayed way away from everything. I had most of my work I did like this, you know, my hand on it, and maybe out there on the tip with my glove, and that is quite a ways away from the sanding belt, okay? And this is not super sharp. I said it was just made for chopping wood. It was just for looks and for doing batoning wood. We're yakking a little bit too longer. We're going to go out with a 120 and see what kind of finish we get. If that don't work, we're just going to do like we do with our orbit sander, with that, like that 60 grit, and put that, like my big machete. I don't know if you remember that. It kind of makes that pebbly texture. I made a video on that slide out metal shelf on my desk, but it makes that grainy looking pattern that hides the scratches. So we will go out and try it on the 120 belt. If that don't work, we're just going to take a sander to it. We're not going to do a whole lot to this edge. We may take my sander and go so you not cut the paper and kind of reprofile it a little bit. But we'll be back when it's all totally finished. Sorry I didn't take a before picture, but this is a lot better if you've seen how it was before. Of course, here's the old one. We'll get confused showing them back and forth. I kind of had that copied that way. I wanted a little bit longer, a little more slope to it, which I'm not going to ever have a real sharp point out here. Like I said, it's just for woodworking. Stay tuned. Okay, real quick shot of this. These are the Harbor Freight. They're not too spendy. They're well worth it. Here's the finish I got with it, like I did on my machete. Okay. Excuse all these weird scratches, but that's the belt sander. See the lines? And you got to figure that's a 4. If I had a 1-inch belt sander with the right grits, I could probably polish it. We did reprofile the blade just a little bit, but that's almost impossible on a sander that wide, a belt that wide. And another tip, when you're out there on the end of your roller, like I said, you know, your roller sanding, don't go in the middle. Those things are beveled, so the belt tracks. Never go in the middle, because that's plastic on the Harbor Freight thing. You'll just wear it off. It's already wearing just by using it. Stay off to the sides. You know, like go back and forth over here and go back and forth over here. Don't go in the center of the belt, because if you look at that plastic roller, it's got a crown to it. So just a little tip when you use that cheapy sander with the plastic rollers in it. So enough yakking about that. We'll bring you back when we're all done. We're going to take the 120 and reprofile this edge with the sander. So I like that pebbly finish. I can't quite get up right to the handle. See that? It's kind of hard to get in there because you're tipping up the sander and it's not doing the same texture. So stay tuned. This is entirely too long a video, but oh well, it's winter time. We have more time to watch videos. At least I do. Okay, we are done for now. There's still some scratches there, which I shouldn't have took it to the belt sander to start with. Not with that heavy duty zircon. No, I'm lying. I did put the 120 belt. So those could have been there from before. Yeah, I think, yeah, I changed it. I knew better. I like that finish. We did take our 120. Not to promote Harbor Freight, but this stuff's cheap. No, this is from Menards. This and the other packs I showed you is from Menards. Correction. Hold on. Let me pause. Okay, let's get the story straight. See that brand name? That's Menards. See this brand name? That's Harbor Freight. That's why I bought these. They didn't have these at Menards. Same thing. Whatever, how many holes. Would take entirely too long. Here's how many holes. 8 holes. That's what my sander is. My sander is also from Menards. Focus. There we go. See the difference. Okay, back to this. Then we'll get out of here. We did take the 120 to this edge. It's kind of blowing out the camera. And be careful. I mean, normally it turns this way. Your orbit sander, but they go all over. But you know, just like a grinder, you know, never go against the paper. So I went this way. And then when I did this one, I did like this. But I had to turn it around to get down here. I think you understand. Just be careful. Oh, another thing. When I was using this on the belt sander and I got out here, and when I just got through with my other sander, orbit sander, this did throw sparks. So this steel is harder than this part of the blade. So I did somewhat heat treat it right. It is harder. It will throw sparks like when you do a chisel. So thought I'd throw that in there. I was kind of pleased when I seen that. Like, wow, that's throwing sparks like a chisel. So it's not perfect. I mean, I'm not a knife maker, but it's just for chopping, batoning wood. I mean, if you got in a situation to where you needed to use this for a swivel knife, I'd hope you bring something along to sharpen it a little bit sharper. But there you go. Probably entirely too much on this. We will take a close-up of this just so you can see how I put that in there. So, thanks for watching.